Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me. I just recorded a video, but I decided to just really quick record another video that I had on my list. I have a super long list of things to discuss, but there's one really quick one that I want to share with you today. So if you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, thank you. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, like let's build a community, let's hang out here. Let this be a safe space for people to interact with each other. And what I want to encourage you to do. So I have heard a lot of times with teaching and with just life in general, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know where I want to be. I don't know where I want to go. What's happening with me now, all of this kind of stuff. And the first thing that I encourage you to do is meditate and listen, because that is how we hear the answers, or how the answers come to us. Sometimes they come to us in signs and synchronicities, which I'll do another video on, which is kind of crazy whenever you actually see signs and synchronicities in action. Because a lot of times our minds are too busy and we overlook them or we dismiss them as coincidence. And so you will learn very quickly through my channel that I do not believe in any such thing as coincidence. I don't know what's happening with the focus of the camera. Okay, sorry. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Now you can see me better. So, so if you feel stuck, okay, if you feel stuck, just ask for a sign. Ask for the guidance, ask for whatever, but then you have to be open to receiving whatever it is. And being open to receive doesn't look like chasing down the answer. That's what I used to do. Now I just wait for the answer to come to me, but I also have to know that it could come in any form or fashion, and I have to be ready. So sometimes the answer will come to you in a job loss. Sometimes it will come to you in a divorce or a death in your family, or something. Let me give you a really fantastic example of this. So I live in a community where the very first hate crime victim of September 11th was murdered. Very tragic. The family owns a gas station, and they own several gas stations, and they own some restaurants as well. And so I was in one of the restaurants, and at that time I didn't know that the brother was the owner of the restaurant. And we have a conversation, and I was telling him about how I would teach his brother's story, but I didn't know it was his brother at the time, in my classroom, and how important it was to show compassion for other cultures and things like that. And so, like, just from that experience, then he was like, that was my brother. Okay. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, that's your brother. But what he then shared with me, sorry, I keep bumping the table. So then what he then shared with me was that he started to go out on interfaith advocacy campaigns. And so he started to teach about their religion, their culture. He would go out to schools, he would go out to businesses, he would go out to anywhere literally that they would have him, and he would explain about their culture and religion in order to in hopes to inspire and educate others, and to prevent further hate crimes, not just from their community but from other communities as well. Because unfortunately, Sikhs are mistaken for Muslims all the time in the United States. It's terrible, but it's true. Okay. It, they're two separate religions that are similar in certain capacities, but different enough that they're a different religion. And so, he did not, little did he know that his brother's traumatic and very tragic death would then be the catalyst for him traveling around the country and telling his brother's story and speaking about what happened to them to educate and inspire others to embrace people from other countries and other cultures and understand that whenever bad things happen, it's not representative of the entire whole, right? And so this is what I'm speaking about, is that sometimes the catalyst for change is something that is horrific, but then puts you on a path, right? I have Nikki Lawley that I work with Nikki and the Plant. She had a traumatic brain injury, but now she is a cannabis advocate, and now she's a traumatic brain injury advocate and speaker. She was a nurse, right? And so that put her on a very different trajectory. So whenever you don't know what it is that you want to do, just pray about it, and then you have to listen and you have to wait for the signs. Okay? God speaks very, very, like very quietly, very still. It's not loud or shrill. This is how you know the difference. I had one person ask me, "How do you know the difference?" And it's like, well, if it's degrading, that's not the voice that you're going to listen to. You're going to listen to that soft, kind, gentle, encouraging, supportive voice of what it is that you need to do. And also, there's a feeling that goes along with it. There's a magnetic attraction to what it is that you need, where you need to be going, or who you need to be bumping into, or whoever. This is one reason why I am so active in my community, because I never know who is going to inspire me on the next phase of my journey. Likewise, I don't know who I will inspire then to take action on their part of their journey. So that's the first thing. The second advice that I have for you is, what did you do as a kid? So I did not know that I was going to grow up and be a teacher at all. Like as a kid, my cousin and I, so if you watch my How Did I Become a Teacher video, my cousin and I, we would be at my great grandma's house and we would play school, and I would be the student and my cousin would be the teacher, and she would design these little lessons and we would do these different things and we would go on field trips. There was a creek near to my grandmother's house, and so we would go out and we would do like these little ecology discoveries or whatever. I don't know. I was like 7. But I loved playing school. I loved to learn. I loved information. I loved knowledge. I loved understanding how things worked. And so now looking back at my childhood, I was like, little Tasha knew all along what big Tasha was going to grow up and do. And so getting in touch with my inner child really has shown a light on, you know, I knew all along what my calling was. But again, because of, you might have family pressure to go into a certain profession, or you may have peer pressure to go into a certain field or do a certain thing, right? And so again, it's really turning inward and listening to yourself, where you're going to find that inspiration and you're going to find the answers for what it is that you need to be doing with your life. Because if I hadn't listened to my intuitive guidance, if I wasn't taking the time to be quiet in certain times of my life, I wouldn't be where I am today. And so just know that your guidance system, your intuition, your emotions, your feelings, the positive thoughts that you have about where you want to go in your life, they're there to help guide you through and navigate you through life. And I know it's really hard to trust what you can't see, what you can't feel, and what's completely intangible. But just know that we breathe air without thinking about it. We trust that we're going to take our next breath. We know the sun is going to come up every day and set every day. We know that the energy, those particles, those photons that are coming from the sun are coming to Earth to give the Earth its energy. We know all of these things. And so you trust that that's going to happen every day. And once you start exercising that self trust, that trust within yourself, then you can really get to a point where you also trust to the point where it's just like how you trust that you can breathe, or you're trusting that you're going to take your next breath. It will be just like that. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope that again you find the videos that I create, inspirational and educational. I hope that my practical guidance from my life experiences are beneficial to at least one person out there. And I hope to see you in the next video. Again, thank you for joining if you are returning, and welcome again if you're new. Please consider subscribing. Thanks so much and have a great day.